I went to get my nails done for my engagement announcement, and she wanted French style almond nails, which is pretty standard for engagement announcement. Oh my god, and what she got looks like bubble nails. If you guys never seen them, there was actually a trend of bubble nails, and they do look like bubbles. French tip is actually not bad. I mean, it's symmetrical, it's crisp, but what's with the shape? Why do they look like bubbles? They are like extremely wide. So I think they probably applied way too much product on the top and especially on the sides. That's why they look like lenses. And what's interesting, there was actually a comment on this TikTok. Someone said that maybe it has something to do with the shape of your nails. And I haven't seen her nails yet, but I want to assure you, this is very unlikely. I mean, what kind of nails can you possibly have to get this kind of outcome? And yes, there are some kind of disorders where people have their own nails clubbed, but this is definitely not the case. Okay, but what do your natural nail beds actually look like? LOL, it might be your nail beds. This is what I thought. She has regular standard nails. I mean, they're not even hard to work with. They're not wide, they're not triangle shaped, they're just regular standard nails. So yes, what she wanted is absolutely achievable, and it's not even that challenging. It was the first out of many nail salon fails videos we're about to watch today. Birthday nails fail. Okay, she wanted neon orange and pink aura nails, and I have to say this is not the easiest color combination. Actually doing this kind of circular ombre with neon colors is quite hard, but on this reference picture the fade is actually not that seamless, so doing this kind of circle might be doable. But what they did is definitely not that. These are just orange circles on the top without any fade. So first of all, when you're working with neon colors, most of them do not have white base in them, which means they are kind of transparent. So when you're doing one neon color on top of the other, they're not going to blend very well. So first, for aura nails, it's better if you use any kind of bright white on the bottom before doing this orange dot, and then you do a slight fade. And when you add orange on top, the color is going to look different and it's going to be brighter.
I'm never going to walk in Salon ever again. You know, whatever. I requested the guy the second time because he did an awesome job. So I go to my appointment or whatever, and you know, starts out great. And so, you know, got Ring of Fire a few times, whatever, not the worst thing. Like going through nail school, I've experienced it a lot. So I can take some Ring of Fire. However, the cuticle little nippers come out. The nippers? Yeah. Look how bad. All my skin right there is gone. And you know what makes this worse? He uses the brush that they dip the monomer and like scoop up the acrylic with to wipe my blood. So my mind is running and I'm like, holy, that burns. But also, I know they're not gonna throw out that brush.
Oh my god, everything about this service is so wrong. Well, first of all, if you accidentally cut a person, you need to know how to properly work on this wound. There are special sanitizers. First you need to sanitize it. Then there are different kinds of hemostatic agents. Sometimes they come as the drops, sometimes they're as the powder, and they tend to stop the bleeding immediately. That's the first thing you need to do after even thinking of proceeding with the appointment. The fact that they use acrylic brush with a monomer is not supposed to touch your skin at all, and I'm talking about like regular healthy skin. But if we're talking about the fresh cut wound, like, oh my god, I can only imagine how bad it burned. This is just so wrong on so many levels, and also it's not going to do anything with stopping the blood. So it was basically just wiping it off.
It would have stopped bleeding because I'm also diabetic. So I bleed a lot. Like when I literally get the smallest cut, I literally pour blood and it will not stop.
On top of that, she's diabetic. So if you're dealing with diabetic clients, the #1 rule is whatever happens, do not cut them. Knowing this information, if I'm dealing with a client that has diabetes, I will be extra careful with literally everything. Sometimes I may even skip the step of trimming the cuticles like I normally do, or skip some steps where I can even potentially cut or break the skin. And also I will be very careful when working with any sharp tools, whether there's a scissors, nippers, or metallic pusher.
I will put a picture real quick right after I left the salon how it looked. This is me attempting to like get all the blood out, but he did put the acrylic over it. And mind you, I'm that bitch that's like, my finger's gone, it's okay. Here's your money. I did pay full price and I tipped $20. And I know y'all are gonna hate me for that. I know y'all are gonna hate on me, but like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, make a scene? Because that is so not me. Anyways, and throughout the process, like after, you know, I got cut and like, I'm just watching my blood like constantly drip because, like I said, I take insulin, so it's a blood thinner. I noticed one of my fingers on this side start burning and I'm like, that's weird. Why is it burning? Like, but it's like underneath. So, I'll put a picture also right here. I got chemical burns somehow. Don't know what it was from. Underneath my finger.
Besides the cut, there is something seriously wrong with the shape. Also, the surface of the nail looks uneven. Chemical burn is a very serious issue. It may happen for many different reasons, including improper use of the product. It can be that the lamp is too strong from the product. Some products are excessively burning.
I think I just got the worst manicure of my life. It's so bad. I'm gonna show you the inspo pic. This is what I wanted.
Okay, she wanted almond-shaped nails with the flowers and some French lilac tips.
This is what I got. Wait, look how crooked my pinky... That makes my finger look deformed. I told her I wanted the French tips. Okay, why didn't she paint? You can see my natural nail. Oh, it's so bad. And here's the thing, I tried to be brave and I tried to like ask her to correct a few things and she just gaslit me and was like, no, like she...
There's something seriously wrong with the shape. Now, this is very typical for most people. If we'll look at our fingers like this, sometimes they're not perfectly straight and they may go to the sides a little bit. So when you're working on the shape of individual nail, you may create the shape that's looking to the side. That's why it's so important to always look at the whole picture like this and like this, just to be sure that they're straight. Because now as she's holding her hand like this, it's obvious that they're all looking in different directions, especially the pinky. And also, what's really with the French? I mean, you're not supposed to create smile line that low, and if you want to create the similar French that was in the picture, you simply need to use a nude color with a good coverage that will cover this part of the natural nail instead of clear. All my nails fell off.
My nails look like this straight after a nail appointment, which resulted in this, that turned into this, and then turned into this. Lost about 80% of my nails. We are on month 7 of growing my nails back, and my 3rd appointment professionally getting them done. If you're new here, I went viral for going to Townhouse and getting onycholysis. As you can see from the beginning of this video, my nails were literally red raw. I did wonder why my cuticles were so red. Anyways, that's in the past. It has taken me 7 months to get this far. We're still not fully grown back to the way they were. They're short queens, but very slowly they are growing back. Ellie Mae has been my savior. I will tag her below. Plus she has really cute cats. She specializes in like nail safety and education. She's been using this amazing brand called Honor on me, which is henna free, and I'm not allergic to it. We did a little autumnal burgundy French tip with a little bow, of course. Gonna do it before and after at the end. I just can't believe it's taken me 7 months to get here. I honestly should have sued them for what they did to my nails, but Ellie Mae did such a good job as usual. But here is what they look like straight after getting my nails done. And then here's a couple of weeks afterward. All my nails fell off. My 1st appointment, my 2nd appointment, and then my final.
At least one story here is with a happy ending. So what happened here? She got a chemical burn supposedly, and Later, it turned into onycholysis, which is the separation of the nail plate from the nail bed. That's why her nails were so short, because they basically peeled from the nail bed. An interesting observation, this client is mentioning products later they use that are HEMA-free, which is absolutely the right thing to do. And yes, product has a lot to do with chemical burns, allergic reactions, and everything. But it's not only about the products, it's also about how you use them, how you work with them. Let's say a nail technician could make some cuts, could apply product too close to the skin. Maybe they use the lamp that is too powerful for the product. Maybe the product itself was not suitable for her. So there are many mistakes that could be done besides using improper products. She wanted black French nails, and she got black French nails, but definitely not something that she asked for, because for some reason they didn't use nude color for the nail bed. Instead, they used clear. So now we can see all these imperfections and white spots on the natural nail. But honestly, with this set, I have more questions regarding the skin. Like, what's with the cuticles? Why are they so torn up?
So I messed up. I messed up bad, okay? I've been seeing press-on nails all over my For You page. So I'm like, I want some Valentine's Day ones. I don't want to go to the nail salon. I don't want to sit there for 2 hours, okay? So I'm like, let me get these press-on nails. Why do they look like shit? What did I do wrong? I've seen people with nails that I'm like, oh my God, those are so cute. Where'd you get them done? They're like, oh my God, it's press-on. Never would have noticed. You can notice. You can notice with these. They look like Legos. Why? Why do they look like this? And why do they hurt? They hurt. They're sore. I can't get them off. I think I put too much glue. Tell me what I did wrong.
So first of all, when you have press-on nails and you choose the size for your nails, you need to take a good look, because I think this shape and length in general is not the best solution for her hand. I would probably pick something that is slightly longer or maybe more rounded shape. So before applying press-on nails, you can always just put them close and take a good look, like if you like how they look or not. And also, it feels like she applied them a little bit on top of the cuticle, like on top of the skin, and that's why they hurt. Of course they do, because there's the glue on them, which is now basically on the skin, and they probably not going to last long. So you need to push back the cuticles and then apply a press-on nail only on the nail plate. That ideally should be cleaned before, whether with a buffer or with a hand file, and then with alcohol pad.
If you go to a salon and they start doing this to you, don't ever go back. Or even with just a nail tech and they start doing this, or with floss, or another, just don't. Acrylic should be filed and soaked off. The person doing this to your nails does not care about your natural nail health. Obviously, if they've been filing nails, this doesn't apply, but if their station is all dusty like this, don't trust it. The bit's all dusty, don't trust it.
There's absolutely everything wrong with this service. I do not approve working without the gloves, you guys know it. Also, this kind of removal is just terrible, because they're using a tip to basically rip off someone's nail. And if this person has an oily type of nails, they're lucky, because in this case there will be a little less damage. But in all other cases, like majority people have regular nails, or like me, dry nails, in this case, there are going to be so many layers of your nail ripped off. So after this service, you will have your nails that are like 2 or 3 times thinner than they were, so they are going to be damaged. Something they're mentioning about the dusty station and everything. Well, some people are more clean, some are not that crazy about the cleanliness, but I think when it comes to work, it's really important, because you always need to remember this is not just dust from the nails. It may be contaminated with the debris, with some particles of derma, of skin, of bacteria. So that's why it's so important to keep it clean. Also, I am strongly against this kind of towels, because they are not single use. and you cannot really properly sanitize it. Even if you wash it, even if you use this vapor and high temperature, there are some kind of spores that still will not be clean with this. So honestly, I have no idea why people still use this kind of towels, because come on, single-use towels are so much easier. Like, they're not that expensive. You just use it, then you wrap all this mess up and throw it away, and then you take another one. I mean, it's going to look much cleaner, and then you won't even need to worry about washing them.
But why is this acrylic so thick on my big toe?
Doing acrylic overlay on your toes in general usually is not the best idea, because acrylic is such a hard product. When you're wearing closed shoes, when you're doing sports or something active, it's so easy to get lifting. And also with our toes, we can accidentally bump into something. And with acrylic, then you will have lifting, and this is a potential room for bacteria. So I think that acrylic should be used on toes very carefully. But when it's this thickness, like, oh my God, you need to take it off immediately. I once had this experience. It was not acrylic. I had gel polish overlay, and my student accidentally, she applied like 2 or 3 layers, and it felt so heavy. And when I was wearing closed shoes, it was extremely uncomfortable. Like, I remember this feeling, I couldn't wait to take them off. So yes, I feel really sorry for this girl. This is what I wanted. So she wanted something with the light green, I suppose, because there are kind of different nails on this picture. Some of them are French, some of them are regular, and this is what she, oh my God, this is an 85-degree angle. Absolutely. How? I mean, how did they do that? Because when I wanted to do this kind of nails on purpose, like when we did raptor nails, it was quite a challenge to make them look like this, like going upwards. So honestly, I have no idea what do you need to do to make them look like that.
Okay, you know all the TikToks where girls show like what they asked for at the nail salon and then what they got? I guarantee you that I have one that tops everybody. I always love having my nails done. Like, my nail guy is great. I love where I go. And I had an appointment that day, and my ex-boyfriend, I guess my boyfriend at the time, he was like, Jess, like, I have a friend who opened her salon in Yorkville as well. So I think if I'm going to Yorkville, obviously I'm gonna be, 1, spending a lot of money, 2, my nails are gonna look good. I was so wrong. I can't even prepare you for how bad this is. So we go and like to support my ex's friend and whatever, and it was super nice because she like kept the salon open for us, and she even gave us like champagne and everything, and it was super, super sweet of her. So she's like raving about how her employees are like the best in the city and everything, which like, okay, great, perfect. But then like I sit down with the guy and she leaves, the owner leaves, and I'm like, okay, where have you worked before? And he was like, oh, like I just finished school. And I was like, okay, that's fine, like whatever. I picked like a yellow color because I wanted yellow, and this is like years ago, whatever. And the guy starts, and I'm like, this is like, I've got my nails done enough that I know the order, that you're well enough at least. And it was just so off. Everything was so off. And when he gets to apply, I'm just going to show, you know what? I'm just going to show the picture. Like, honestly, it got to the point that this poor guy doing my nails was crying because they were so bad. And he was apologizing to the point that I felt bad. And I was like, don't worry about it. It's okay. Like, they're just nails. Like, everything will be fine. Okay, let me just show you.
I cannot understand what was with the shape. I mean, is it oval? Is it coffin? Is it square? It literally looks like if you take these clippers and just try to clip them, like this is what you get. The color is so uneven, and I can see some leftovers on the skin.
When I tell you, like, I literally left the salon and then I ripped them all off. Like, they just peeled off.
Yeah, I'm really surprised like how this kind of work can be done in the salon. I mean, when you're learning, it's understandable, but when you're already providing the service, applying the color or doing the shape, it's like the basic of what you learn when doing nails, right?
I'm so angry. I was red and splotchy. So I went to the nail salon. It's been about a year since I've gone to the nail salon. And I asked for tips and then dip powder. I know it can be done. I've seen it be done. And this is what I got. I asked for oval and kind of pointy at the top. First of all, what is that? But look at the indents in here and look how fat they are. He said, because you put a nail tip, it's always going to have a divot. Okay, that's not true. And the entire time I'm telling this guy, I don't like this. Like, this is really fat. They're really bumpy. Like, he said, just trust the process. Trust the process. 4 layers of powder later, this is what I get. He cuts my finger, chops me up. I've got black everywhere.
These nails look like they were flattened, and then we have such an uneven surface. So regardless of the technique you're using, whether it's a tip or form or dual form or just a regular overlay, no, they should not be any bump at all, regardless of the technique and the product. So they use dip, and also it doesn't matter which product you use, even if the surface is uneven, you can always use an e-file or a hand file and make it smooth. Like, there's always a way to smooth it out. I know it because when I'm teaching my students, when they're learning, obviously they cannot do a super smooth surface from the day one, and I always help them out. Like, you can always fix that. But also the shape that they did, it's way too flat and wide. If we look at her nails, it's obvious she probably doesn't have very wide nails, but now they look like it because of the shape. Literally leaving the nail salon without a word about how horrible my nails look and tipping a good experience. It's really hard to believe that this is still possible nowadays to get this kind of service in the nail salon, because this flooding is like way too much. It's so obvious on her ring finger. But besides this flooding, I mean, look at the nails, look at the shape. The color is applied too thick and the shape just looks so different. So they definitely should have applied less product. This is what I wanted, regular almond pointy nude nails. This is what I got, which is completely different. They decided not to use pink nude color. They used clear instead. That's why it looks so different. Also, the shape is also very different. It's more like oval. But most of all, I wonder why did they do this kind of application? Because clear product is literally one of the easiest ones to work with, because you don't need to worry about this perfect cuticle line and things like that. But they applied it way too thick near the cuticle, so it is going to lift within a few days, like 100%. You got your nails done and they look so bad and ugly. So she wanted pink nails with French tips and flowers, and these are the easiest flowers to do in the entire world, because all you need to do is just use a dotting tool, put these dots, and there's another dot in the center, like super simple. What she got, well, I hope at least she was okay with the green color, and the flowers are okay, but all the rest, the application is way too thick. Like, the shape looks so different. There's too much product near the cuticle, on the fridge, like everywhere. Look at the thumb. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, it's just they took the product and slap it on the nail. Like, they didn't even try to apply it. Like, this is going to lift within a couple days if it's not already lifting. The sidewalls are overfiled so bad. Even though they kind of recreated the design just like she wanted, the shape is just off. Nail horror story.
All right, so I'm laughing through the pain, but it's actually not funny at all. I just got my nails done at the place I've been going to for like 8 months, and I just had the worst experience of my life. Let me show you my nails. What the hell? What the hell?
They look like teeth or this chewing gum. I mean, they're so thick and bulky, and when you're using milky color, it always kind of make them appear a little bigger. So now, because of the color, they look even bigger than they are.
What is this? They're all completely uneven, like they're not even polished properly. Look at my thumb. Look at this finger. And it would have been different if like she actually took her time into doing it, but I could tell she was just trying to get me out of her chair. She didn't say hello to me when I sat down. She didn't ask me what shape I wanted, nothing. She just went right in. And at the end of the thing, like, she asked me, like, good? And I literally looked at her I never say anything because I work in customer service. But I'm like, honestly, no, it's not good. They don't look good. I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow and someone else is gonna have to fix it. And she looked so confused. I felt so bad that I said that, but like, literally, come on. Like, nails are not cheap. And like, look at that. That's not even filed. When she was filing, she wasn't even taking her time. She wasn't even looking. I still tipped her $5, but like, typically I tipped like 10 to 15. Again, it would have been different if she was actually trying and they didn't come out good. But didn't even speak a word to me the whole time, which you don't have to, but like, still. I don't know, I'm just like so disappointed because nails are not cheap, and like, for them to come out looking like this is just absolutely insane to me. Look at my pinky. What is going on there? Come on now. Am I exaggerating?
No, girl, you're not exaggerating. This is really bad. So I suppose they use dip powder, or maybe not, but regardless, this milky color is so uneven, you can clearly see it. Also, there's something wrong with the shape. I mean, it looks wide and also uneven. So when working with such delicate colors, you need to make sure that this area near the cuticle is absolutely thin. These are short nails. So on short nails, you don't really need much volume. We don't really need to build too much thickness on the apex to make them last, so they can be pretty thin and still durable. But what surprised me the most about this video is that nail technician didn't ask about the shape. What? I mean, that's like the basic thing you learn, right? When a client comes, you're like, hello, do you want coffee? Well, okay, coffee, tea, it's like another level or part of the service. You may not have it in your salon, that's fine. But asking what the client wants, like what kind of shape do you want, show them the swatch, make sure that you understand and know what they want, and then you start doing this. So when there's nothing like it, I don't understand like how this nail technician can have clients at all.
I cannot believe that I just paid $60 for this manicure. I actually have no words. I've been getting my nails done for probably almost 15 years, and in that entire time I've never had a hack job quite like the one that I just received, and I was too shocked to even complain, so I just paid.
This is so bad. There's something wrong with the application, but most of all with the cuticles, and I'm not sure what it is. It's whether a glue or product leftovers or this gel leftovers all over the skin. It doesn't just look untidy, but it's also bad because of the exposure to the skin, and this is how a person can get allergic reactions. It really depends on the particular person. Like, some of us are not as prone to allergic reactions, so it can be okay, but some of us are not, and one application like this might be enough for terrible allergic reactions to develop. I just spent $150 for my set in 2 days. I don't mean to brag, but honestly I never had this exact kind of problem. I actually wanted to do a set to record a video and then to peel them off easily, but I couldn't do that, so that's why I had to use the special peel-off base which is designed for it, and that was the only way. So if it's peeling like that, then probably the product was not fully cured, or maybe the surface was too shiny, too smooth. It was not roughened enough to have a good adhesion with the product. And $150, wow, that's not cheap. So I really wonder why they didn't take care of it.
I just got my nails done because I'm going to the beach tonight, and I literally want to rip my fingernails off. They look like shit. And the girl told me she'd been doing nails for 10 years. And you know what I said? I said, they look perfect. Why would I say that? I don't know. I did speak up kinda, and I got the vibe, like, don't, like, just let it be. Suck it up and walk out with these shitty nails. Yeah, the right hand looks kind of fine, especially, like, from here. The painting job, wait. The painting job on this hand is not the best, and it's a little, like, bumpy and a little thick. But my left hand, am I being dramatic? Do they not look that bad?
No, girl, you're not being too dramatic. It is bad. So this is something that I learned during my first 2 months as a nail technician. Back then I was using mostly regular nail polishes, and I realized that I can't do a good job of applying the color. Like, this cuticle line was always uneven and it just didn't look good. So I thought, okay, I need to practice color application more. So I asked my mom and my friend to come over to my apartment like every day. So I'm going to change their color, and of course they didn't mind. But this is what I noticed. They had the same extensions, obviously, the ones that I did for them. And it was not just about the color. If you didn't do a good job with product application, if the cuticle area is not clean, if it's not thin, if the shape is not on point, it is going to be a struggle to apply the color perfectly. But once you have this perfect smooth surface, well, it's quite easy to imagine. I mean, imagine you take tips, right? It's never hard to apply the color in swatches or in tips because they're perfectly smooth and even. That's the same thing. So if you feel like you apply the color, it's not super even, most likely it's not about the color, but about something that's underneath. And that's exactly what we have here. We have too much product near the cuticles, the shape is not even, the sidewalls are not thin enough, they're not even. That's why no matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't apply the color properly when you have a bumpy surface like this. But also the shape looks so different. I mean, the index finger is the longest one and it shouldn't be. Normally the middle finger can be a little longer, but instead it's the shortest one and it's so wide and it looks wider than them all. So the biggest problem here is the product application, and because of that, the color application looks like this. If you enjoyed watching this kind of content, do not forget to give me a like, and remember, you are not giving a like to these nails but to my work of choosing these videos and commenting them with you. And if you've ever had a terrible nail salon experience, please share it in the comments.